Hey, thanks for watching 4Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and I'm back for something I haven't done in about a year. This is a Gimmicks and Obscurities video. This is where I just show off some of my, show you some of my the gimmick covers that I've got that I enjoy so much, and also some obscure comics you may not have known about, may not have heard of. But all of it is, as always, just to make you aware of some things you may know are out there, you may not know are out there, but something that you might want to go out and get. So anyway, we're going to start very quickly. We'll jump right in with a few foil covers. This is a cover that is, at least regionally here, very common, less common these days, but was for a long time very common in dollar boxes and bargain boxes. This is Silver Sable #1, and of course with a lot of silver foil on that cover. This one I picked up in a dollar box because it was just in such immaculate condition. No dings, no spine problems, nothing like that, and just really, I mean, just practically glowing, man. Just I love the sheen, I love the silver, the flash, all of it, and just a beautiful, beautiful cover. It is also embossed. And so the main figures are raised, the logo is raised, and so anyway, great stuff there. So Silver Sable #1, published, let's see, when was that published? Published, not that it matters, but you know me, 1992, and still in great shape, so someone took care of it before I got to it. Very thankful for that. This next one, now this was, this book had been on my radar and had been in my collection for a long time. These are all gimmicks at first, by the way. This is going to be a shorter video, and I'll do the obscurities afterwards. But I've known about this comic for a long time. This is a Silver Surfer #50. I'd had this, I mean, I bought this off the rack. Again, a foil cover, a foil embossed cover. Love that beautiful, beautiful silver foil image of the Silver Surfer, Ron Lim, on pencils there, and the logo as well, and then the ominous form of Thanos in the back. Even the 50th issue or 50th anniversary, I guess it's 50th issue spectacular, is raised and in foil. And so, of course, I'd known about that one. I didn't realize, however, that there was a second print. And so, not too long ago, I found it and noticed that it looked a little different. The difference is that the Silver Surfer image is outlined in black. There's a lot more black ink on the foil. There's also a little bit of difference in color, but not much. But take a look at the Silver Surfer on each one, and you can see he's still raised, he's still foil, but he's outlined in foil. I mean, in foil. He's outlined in black, and even I believe even the I didn't check this before. Yeah. Even the Silver Surfer, the small image in the logo, or beside the logo, has that same difference. Black added to the image. And so I thought that was very cool. A neat variant on a beautiful cover. Okay, so very cool, you know, finding out that there's a second print to that. However, at the same time I found out that there's a second print to that, I also found out there's a third print to that. This is where some people may not be aware, but this one, the same raised foil on the cover, outlined in black. However, this one has different coloring in the cover. Okay, let's just compare it to the second printing, and you can see the difference in coloring very easily. Instead of the purples on black, like there, you got the yellow on black, and just very, very cool stuff there. So 3 different printings of Silver Surfer #50. Very happy to have those, and I'm going to actually look for a different, another copy of the third print, just simply because this one does have some damage right in there. There's some cover damage there, spine a little bit, and so, but having never seen it before, and having that being the only copy there, I went ahead and picked it up when I did get it. All right, so very cool stuff there. Staying with the Silver Surfer theme is another Silver Surfer. Let's get rid of that tape. Didn't realize that tape was still on there. Always never tape your covers that are, or never tape your bags that are in your personal collection. Okay, too easy to catch a cover. All right, this is another silver foil embossed Silver Surfer issue. This is issue number 75. Very cool, and they've got that kind of that rainbow glow in that foil there. I'm not sure what they do to the foil to cause that. It wasn't in the copies of issue 50, but that one it is. So very cool there. Okay, and so that's Silver Surfer number 75. Let me get him back in there. And then lastly, staying with the Silver Surfer theme, this is Silver Surfer number 100, published in 1995. And what you have here is this gorgeous, gorgeous hologram cover. They went from the raised foil. They said, oh, we've done that before. We've done the embossed foil. Let's do kind of a hologram image. And that's what they have. Now, it's not as much a hologram image as some. It's more the foil with the, again, the multiple color effect on there. Okay, so, but it is very cool. And it looks, you know, for all intents and purposes, like a hologram. But anyway, so very cool stuff there. Okay, and so, love the gimmicks. Love me some gimmicks. You know I do. Let's go with some obscurities. Some obscurities here. Now, this one, you've heard me talk often about Comic Empire of Tulsa. Years ago, a comic book came out in the year 2000, actually, that Mike McCormick, my LCS owner and good friend, he big air quotes here, recommended simply by title alone. This comic became an in-joke among people or some customers at the Comic Empire of Tulsa, and it you know, it became a comic that had to be acquired so that people would be in on the joke. It's not the easiest comic to acquire either. You're not going to find this one just floating around out there, at least again in this region of the U.S. But this is from the year 2000 by this is issue number 1 of a comic called Poop Jelly, okay, by a company called Bitter Young Cranks. Now, as you can imagine, this is a book. This is a comic book just with a bunch of short, funny stories inside. In fact, it has a double cover. You're missing out here. Okay, and I love the spiral notebook motif of the cover there. Okay, and it is, by the way, it is Poop Jelly, Random Thoughts of a 3-year-old. Okay, and so really very cool stuff there. Just from the standpoint of how many books out there would you ever, with this title, or with a title anything like this, that even have poop in the title, okay? Now, maybe it appeals to the adolescent in me, or the child in me, or the brat in me, or whatever. But anyway, Poop Jelly number 1, published in 2000 by the company called Bitter Young Cranks. I don't know if they ever did another one or not, but you know, if they didn't, makes this even more collectible. Go out there and get it, okay? Okay. All right. On we go with a book actually by Neal Adams. Now, this is going to be obscure to the younger fans, all right? I know a lot of our younger fans, you know who Neal Adams is, but this is a book that Neal Adams did for Pacific Comics back in the 80s. Let me see exactly what year. This would be, 1983. This is a book that again, according to Michael McCormick, who just did a lot more reading on the industry than I did and was paying more attention in 83. This is a book that Neal Adams himself reportedly called the worst comic book ever published. Okay, it's a Neal Adams book. In fact, I don't know if it's written by Neal Adams, but it's art by Neal Adams. Can't right off the bat find credits in it. Maybe because nobody wanted to claim credit for it. I don't know. But this is, let me check one more time. Nope, can't find it. All right, this is for Pacific Comics from 1983, Neal Adams' Skate Man. Now, this guy, if you take a real close look, this guy makes Rocket Racer look like a very serious villain, okay? Because as far as I know, this guy, he had no motors on his skates. His skates didn't shoot out rockets. You know, he didn't have anything. He didn't have anything but the skates. I guess perhaps some combat skills. He does seem to have a belt there with some pouches. Okay, so maybe he's got some fine fight My goodness. Some fine crime fighting equipment in those pouches. Maybe a little bit like Batman, okay? Escape Man has his utility belt. So anyway, look, it's just because of its unusual nature, it does have very cool art by Neil Adams inside. Very cool stuff, okay? Action-oriented. Just kind of a ridiculous hero by Neil's own admission. All right, but worth having, just worth hunting for because it's just kind of cool. I have 2 copies myself, and honestly, anytime I find a really nice copy in a cheap box, I buy it. All right, next, Obscurity is a comic by Ocean Comics, published in 1999 on the cusp of the 21st century. And what this is the wedding of Popeye and Olive Oyl. This is a comic published by, I said Ocean Comics, but it's published by Ocean Comics, but it is, I don't know if it's canon. I don't know if it's Popeye canon, but it has, it is written by Peter David, amazing art by Dave Garcia and Sam De La Rosa. Let me give you an example of some of the art in there. Very, very cool and fun Popeye art. As you see, Bluto knocked Popeye into orbit there, okay? But great stuff, and you just got to appreciate that. But this is the wedding of Popeye and Olive Oyl. I'm not going to show you the final panels because I don't want to give away any spoilers, okay? There's a goon. There's a goon crashing in on Olive Oyl. Okay? So, cool stuff. The wedding of Popeye and Olive Oyl. If you're a Popeye fan, also I should mention a cover by one of my favorite artists, Tom Grummett. I love the cover. Popeye and Olive Oyl standing atop the giant wedding cake, fighting off those who would stop this wedding. All right. Okay, so very cool stuff there. Okay, next, Obscurity. This is very just for. I'm showing this mainly for the very beautiful cover. It's a gorgeous cover, just simply because of the deep red in it. But if those of you out there who are familiar with the 1980s comic book company, independent comic book company, Silver Wolf, for whom Tim Vigil did a lot of early work, not always kid friendly stuff, but Ron Lim also did some early work for them, I believe, and a lot of artists, several artists that are popular today, I think, did early work for Silver Wolf. This is the Silver Wolf comic book trivia comic. Love that deep red cover there, and it does also, of course, has some illustrations on the back cover, but it's all very red cover, deep red cover, and it's just, here's the format, just a lot of trivia questions. Now, not actually a comic book by definition, even though it says comic book, but things like let's see, give you an example of some of the trivia questions in here. These are not trivia questions about Silver Wolf, but things like who currently publishes G.I. Joe, what company is Marvel a division of, who published Chrome #1. I believe actually that was Hot Comics, and I know that, I think, to be a fact. What was Silver Wolf Comics' first full-size comic? Who published Surefire Comics? Who published Animal Fun back in 1953? So things like that, really, really cool questions like that in this nice package here, this nice bright red package. So anyway, just kind of a cool Obscurity, okay? And I know there's not many people out there watching this that have probably seen a copy of this out in the wild. Not many, anyway. And then lastly, I'm just going to share a couple more here. Well, here, let's see. These would be obscure comics. This comic I came across several years ago. This is a 2001 comic. A man named David Spurlock created a character based on and inspired by the sci-fi characters of the 30s and 40s from the newspaper strips and from comic books. Characters done by the likes of Frank Frazetta and Al Williamson and such as that. And he called this character Space Cowboy. Okay? Now, this actually came in 2 different covers. One cover done for the publication by Al Williamson, and colored by Spurlock. Okay, so gorgeous stuff there. That is Space Cowboy, and he's I believe he was actually an actual Western cowboy who was somehow transported into space. Okay, so you have Space Cowboy there, the Al Williamson cover, and then you have Space Cowboy, the Frank Frazetta cover, which was actually finished from a cover or an illustration Frank Frazetta did based on Buster Crabbe, who I believe at one time early years, decades ago, played Buck Rogers. I think that's right. Anyway, Flash Gordon, perhaps. I'm sorry, I get those two mixed up. Flash Gordon. All right, so got the Frazetta cover, and then you have the Al Williamson cover, and you actually have inside, you have some very cool, some great art by Spurlock. I love his black and white art. I'll give you an example of that. Some of Spurlock's black and white art, just very fun style, very conducive to the action and the sci-fi element. And then you also have some color illustrations. There's another collector's edition portfolio. There's another Al Williamson, colored by Spurlock. Okay, and then you have in here you also have a let's see, this one is Gray Morrow, colored by Spurlock. Okay, and let's see, one more. You have Steranko, Jim Steranko illustration, colored by Spurlock. So, you know, just a cool book in which David Spurlock pays homage to the old, those cool old sci-fi strips and comics. Okay, almost done here. Oh wow, looks like there is another Space Cowboy cover out there, or maybe this was for an issue 2. Here is one, another one by Frank Frazetta. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to look for some more of those. Make sure that I didn't miss anything. So anyway, cool Obscurities, and we'll stop it there for now, and hopefully I've given you enough to maybe go out and look for Space Cowboy. Great stuff, inspired by great works by great artists, and so just worth seeking out and adding to your collection. Anyway, another Gimmicks and Obscurities, finally, for the first time in a year. Hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to like the video, and if you like what you see here, if you've seen a few, go ahead and subscribe. That way you can know, you can get notifications whenever, and hit the bell and get notifications whenever a new video comes out. Otherwise, thanks for watching 4Color Commentary, and we will see you next time.